What's going on, everyone? This is Gainz Gaming. Today we are talking about the state form. I was just informed that there might be a trick here with the traveling and the way that you get better rewards. And so obviously when we look at this, we can see like the reward list, we can see your probability. And so there's obviously like a 2% chance of you getting legendary, 7.5% of getting epic, and 35.3% chance of getting elite armaments. And so the odds are not really in your favor. You have less than 50% chance of actually getting an armament, whether it's legendary, epic, or elite. And so one thing that I have found, myself and other people have told me this too, is when you are traveling, and we'll set this up here, we'll use Leonidas, but when you're traveling, you want to use a legendary commander if you have one. So you don't want to use like Gaius here, or you don't want to use Boudica. You want to use your legendary commander. And you also want to make sure you are using one that is patriotic here and not something that's different here on the other commanders. And so you can see right down here, you can get lucky using these commanders. And so you want to use a legendary commander. And then the other thing you want to take into account is the fact that you don't want to skip when you are traveling. And so I'll show you here, we're going to start traveling. And on these ones, you can't really do anything. On just like the random, like getting gold or whatever, you can't really do anything. But when it comes to like this, for example, instead of clicking through it and going as fast as you can, you're going to come up here, you're going to hit autoplay, and you're just going to let it sit. You're not going to touch anything. You're just going to let it sit and go all the way through. It's going to be painfully long. It's going to be annoying, but you're just going to let it go. You're not going to touch anything, and you're just going to let it play out as it is. You can read it if you want. You can just kind of sit back. You can ignore it. You can walk away from the game, but letting it play out all the way. And I've started doing this on my farm account because after I saw this, I was done on my main, but I went to my farm account and I got like 4 legendary armaments on my farms by doing this. And so I want to test it out here on a video and kind of see what we get. If we get a good epic armament, a good elite, or a good legendary armament, and kind of see what our odds are. And so you can see right here, we got a epic armament for the hollow square. We got cav health, we got cav attack, and we got archer defense. So this is good for cavalry. If you're using like Attila, for example, getting the hollow square could be good because that's reducing your damage you're taking. And so this is a really good one. We'll try again and we can see if we get another one here. So we're going to keep on clicking through this. Obviously, I really get no good luck on here, but we can kind of see what we get here if we can get another story mode. If not, we'll hop to a farm account, but here we go. So we're going to hit autoplay again. And then one other thing that you want to take into account is if you see a commander like Dragon Lancer here, it's probably not going to be as good. But what I have seen on my farm accounts, I haven't had this on my main account yet, but on my farm accounts, I've had like Scipio Prime show up on the right side over here instead of Dragon Lancer or another low tier commander. And so when you see a commander like Scipio Prime or another legendary commander, that's kind of a good indicator that you might get really lucky on the armament that you're going to get. And so that's another thing to take into account is that the commander that's showing over here might be influencing the tier of reward that you get from the reward here from the traveling. And so we'll see what we get here. We got epics of Olympia. This is for the wedge. So this is great. It only gives 1% infantry attack. So obviously not as good here. We're going to finish it off here. We can see if we can get lucky on another one. We've gotten 2 epics, which is really good. And so we'll see if we can get one more story mode here. Kind of just skip through here. This is actually good for the hollow square. All archer stats, which is awesome. Although with archers, you really want to be using the wedge formation as with most kind of troops. But we got Dragon Lancer here once again, so we'll see how lucky we get on this one here. Hopefully we can get a legendary armament here to wrap up the video. But once again, we will let this play out all the way through. Don't touch anything, don't click, don't tap the screen. Just let it play through, let it go slow. I know it's painfully long, but just let it play all the way through and see how you do. Because in my experience, and even today, we've gotten much better options because typically I get like a blue one and it's like all siege or all gathering or just really random crappy stuff that you don't need. And so even today I've gotten ones that are actually somewhat useful. And so we'll see if this is actually the way to do it, is using the autoplay and kind of seeing how it goes. So here we got the echelon, so obviously not as good. So we get gold gathering, damage to barbs, and cav defense. Personally, I'm probably not going to be using the echelon formation at all because I don't use buffing marches like Trajan or Constantine. I have Constantine and I have Trajan, but I don't have enough invested in them to make it worthwhile. But this is something you can try out. You can try it on your main account, on your farms. If you have extra time, it's a really good way to kind of improve the types of armaments that you're getting. Obviously, it is still completely based off of luck, but this is something that I found that might work. It might just be a placebo effect. Who really knows? But at the least, you can try it out and kind of see if it works for you. On my farm accounts, obviously, you're going to get better luck because, you know, Lilith wants to screw with your head. And so on my farm accounts, I have gotten a lot more legendary armaments. This is what I have right now. I do have a formation choice chest I'll be opening up here later in another video. But this is what we have right now with our armaments. But like I said, when you're doing your traveling, make sure that you try to just do the autoplay and let it play out and see if you have better luck. All right, so we're also going to try on my farm account here on my Gainz Gaming 2. We're going to see if we have any other luck here, because like I said, on farm accounts, Lilith tends to give you really, really good luck on just about every event in the game. So we're going to try on my farm account and see if we see any other difference, if we get good luck, if it's pretty much the same as my main account. But we will come right over here. We'll go to the state forum. I have a level 13 here, so I don't have any legendary patriotic defenders. And so I will be using Boudica since she is the highest tier I have available. So I have 15 chances, and obviously the rewards are still the same for the probability. And so this should be relatively the same luck here. So we'll see what we get on this one. So we're going to start traveling, and we will see if we can get one of these story modes here. Here we go. So we'll hit autoplay, and we'll let this play out. And then we will see what we get on this one. I think this one is a scholar that pops up here on this little background. Yep, there he is. So we will let this play out. And I feel like typically the ones that last longer are also the ones that give the better rewards. Because like I was saying before with Scipio Prime, I feel like that one was the longest one I've ever let play through. And it was on one of my farm accounts, and it was a legendary tier armament. And so we'll see if the scholar is also one that's going to give legendary. But once again, we are letting this play all the way through to see if this affects our luck here on the traveling in the armament system. So we will see what we get here in this one using Boudica, not Boudica Prime, just regular Boudica. And so this is giving 2.2 cav health, 1.3% archer march speed, and then 1.1% archer attack for the hollow square. So kind of mixed up stats there on this one. So not the greatest, but still an epic armament that you can probably trade in and get some good value for. So we're going to keep on going here. We'll see if we can get another one here for our story. We're going to keep on clicking here. We got 4 more chances. Here we go. This one we have a scout. And so we'll see if this one is any better than the scholar. And obviously the longer they are, like I said, the better the rewards tend to be. However, the percentages are all the same, but you can get lucky on certain commanders and certain stories here. So we'll see what we get from the scout on this one. Once again, not clicking anything. We are letting this play all the way through. Not tapping, not clicking, just letting it play all the way through the story here. Once again, it is painfully slow, and you really just want to click all the way through and get it over with. But I mean, I definitely don't do this on all my farm accounts because I just don't have the time for that, because this is like 2 minutes every single time it feels like. And so definitely don't do it on my farm accounts. But this one is Record of Vengeance. So another epic here. We've got an epic every single time. So this is 1.3% inf health, 1.2% archer attack, and then some troop load. We'll finish off the last ones here, and there we go. All right, so I'll show you what I've gotten on this one. So with the armaments, I have gotten some legendary here, and so I believe this is the one that I got from Scipio Prime when I let it play all the way through. So I did get the Desperado extra effect. So this is troops take 2% less damage of all types when they have less than 50% troops remaining. So this is good if you are like trying to run away from a battle and you are getting hit, you are taking less damage if you have less than 50%. Also comes with 2.4% archer health and 1.5% cav attack. So obviously not the best stats, but you know, it's something. It's also for the wedge formation, and so that's also really good. And it has that inscription on here too. And so obviously, like Lilith said, we are going to get some sort of system where we can trade things in, or we can change the stats here on the armaments. And so once again, make sure you do not recycle these. I'm saving up all my armaments here on all my accounts. I could be trading them in and spending them in the courier station here, but I'm deciding not to. I'm holding off. I'm not trading anything in to get these yet, because I want to see what the system looks like when it comes to trading in all these armaments. And I encourage you to do the same exact thing. We do have the formation choice chest on this one as well, which, like I said, I will be opening up in another video. I'll open up on my main account and on this account because I do have 3 here, 2 with the purple and then 1 legendary here. So stay tuned for that video in the future. And like I said before, like when you're doing the traveling and you are just watching the story mode, just let it sit back, hit the autoplay, and let it go all the way through. So once you do this, let me know down below in the comments if this changed anything for you, or if you think it's all just a placebo effect. Let me know down below what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next video.